Hi everybody, I have James Husted from Synthwerks, and today I'm in his wild scientist lab with all these modular synthesizer modules from various manufacturers, including his company, Synthwerks. And I brought over a QuNexus from Keith McMillan Instruments, and James is going to talk a little bit about his setup and how he has the QuNexus hooked up into it. So, what you got going, James?
Okay, right now the QuNexus is... Right now I'm using the QuNexus CV outs to control these two AS oscillators, and they are going into a signal processor module from Dover, which produces is a LFO and VCA VCF and LFO and a VCA combo, sorry, and then is going into a signal processor module on the output. And right now I have the main CV running pitch. Gate is running this particular envelope generator here, and the pressure out is running the level of this VCA, which has this LFO in it. So as I press harder on the key, I like the feel of the keyboard. It's very very responsive, and even the light touch works really well. It compensates for the fact that the keys are smaller than a normal keyboard, but I'm not a keyboard player per se, so this works really good for me. And the pressure is really... You can see you can be very subtle with it if you want to, or if you play normally, it's not there at all. So yeah, it works really good, I think. And this is just with the CV out directly from the unit. No MIDI converters or anything like that. I had to go through a few modules to get there because I didn't have long enough cables. But other than that, it's pretty well, works fine in the system. And the octave tracking seems to work really well. Within the reasonability of the oscillators I'm running it with. That's always the weakest link, is the particular oscillator you're actually running. Whether its tracking is up for it, but yeah, I think it's a really good unit. Now, right now I'm running it off a power supply from an AC source, but there has been talk about people running it off of one of our lamp modules. We make these USB powered lamp modules, and they typically run either a single one like this or a dual like this one up here, which has two heads. So I'm going to plug it into the single one that I have down here, and it seems to have enough power. We're getting into the exact specs real soon to find out whether or not this is not a good idea or not. But it's running, and that's off of this one lamp module over here. So that's a way of having power source on your cabinet without having to carry an extra adapter and stuff. Here we go. In this one I have the tilt, which I'm just not used to playing this keyboard, so I'm sure that someone who's got the chops can do it. But yeah, you can have the tilt, for instance. Oops, I'm going into modes that I don't know what they are.
That's okay. So, but this is your first CV keyboard. I mean, you've had your modular setup for quite a while, but you've been using like a Nord through a MIDI to CV converter. But now you actually have a direct CV keyboard.
Yes, there's hardly anybody who makes CV keyboards nowadays. I mean, there's the Akai one, I guess, and Dover makes one, and Analog Systems makes one. but they're really rare and also quite bulky. This is a very nice little setup that's easy to carry around. It could actually go inside one of my cabinets with the lid shut. So it's a real nice setup for that. And if in my case, I would be using it to transpose sequencers and things like that. So it's not something I'm going to be playing like mad licks on.
Yeah, but it could also be used just to modify CV, just to use for filtering or
anything like that.
Any kind of tweaking.
Well, especially if you want to. Obviously, we make pressure. Synthwerks makes pressure sensitive devices, so I have that typically covered. But if you want to hit two bases at one time, have a pressure controller and a pitch controller at one time, this is really a nice little unit. And it's very. I was kind of surprised when I first got it. It's a very sturdy feeling and it's very solid. Versus I have a couple of the older nano keys, and compared to like this Korg nano key, which is like really flimsy feeling compared to this guy, and they're the same size and everything, but this is a much nicer unit. There's no doubt.
Well, that's kind of the key to Million Instruments' way, is to make things that will stand the test of time and will hopefully last long enough that you can get some really good use of the job.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can see this could be beat on pretty hard before anything. Probably, and it's also got lots of pretty lights, which
electronic musicians love for sure.
Yeah, and of course I'm using it at its very simplest level at this point, using a CV and gate only on it. Obviously, with a MIDI setup, you have a lot more potential to do a lot more stuff with it. So I could see it easily being a very good addition to anyone's rig.
Cool. Well, I appreciate your time on this, and this is James Husted from Synthwerks, and his first encounter with the QuNexus. Thanks, James.
Bye.